Barbara, we're so honored to be able to honor you for all of your lifetime experiences with Soroptimist. Because you've been a member for so long, why don't you give us a little background on how Soroptimist got started?
Well, I learned it kind of as time went on by listening to various people. The founder, really, the woman who got it started is Adelaide Goddard. And she ran a secretarial school in Oakland, California. And a gentleman by the name of Stuart Marlowe came in to the Goddard Secretarial School looking for a man to join a service club. And so when she found out what he was trying to do, she says, well, when you think about women, come back to see me. Well, Mr. Marlowe was making his living off chartering clubs. They paid a fee to get chartered, and then they were paying a fee to him yearly. So he was collecting a lot of money from all these men's clubs. So here comes the women. He sees dollars. So he comes back in and says, okay. So that first club got chartered in the fall of 22. And then the San Francisco club is February, and Los Angeles was July. So we were the three clubs to get started. So the three presidents were having to work together. Two up north and one down here. Bear in mind, this is the 20s. So transportation wasn't that simple. Obviously there was no TV, phone was limited. So that's how our nature all got started. Gradually they were starting to work on things, and one of the women in the LA club got concerned, hey, we're paying him a yearly fee after, the initial, and we need to see what we can do to buy him out. So then we own the name, we're not paying him a yearly fee, and our money's all going to what we want it to go to. So that is how things kind of transpired. So the agreement, I'm sure, was around 24, 25, that the Soroptimist Club got bought out, Marlowe, and I don't know what the men's club did. If they were doing something at the same time, I don't know. But that's what the women were doing.
Oh,
and initially we were called Pacific Region.
Thank you very much. How long have you been a member of Soroptimist?
I've been a member 50 years. I joined. They were a little hesitant about letting me in because I was involved in nursing and education at that time, and they weren't quite ready for that. But anyway, they took me because the woman who introduced me was a printer, and she was a block from the hospital. And I saw her several times a week because she did all the printing for the School of Nursing. So that's how I got started. It was through membership, being a member through Marge Silverman. It was she was the one, and she gave me some of the history along the ways. Because I saw a picture, the Soroptimist Club, Los Angeles, bought property near USC, and the property was long enough, they knew they could build a second house on it. So there was a little wood frame house on the front and the one in the back. So that was what they started with, and we developed. So the money was going really for that. And the women were saving the money to have the second house built. It was designed by SC architecture students, and it got built in the late 50s. And so there we were.
Now, tell me, can you give me what the differences are between how Soroptimist was when you started and how it is today?
Oh my God, it would take hours. You have to remember, we were not in an era where there was easy communication, like cell phones and all that type of thing, or movies. A little bit of filming, yes, but that was it. So gradually the club, had to start to develop business because of that very nature.
So then, one of the things that you had mentioned is that you used to meet every week.
That's right. We met every week from September to June. If there was a fifth Tuesday in the month, then we didn't meet the fifth Tuesday, but that was seldom. So we started in September, and we went through every week, if you will, till June of the next year. We had installation, and then we're closed down for 2 months.
Now, when did you become the governor for the region?
When you're going in for governor of the region, you got to work in the region itself. So I became involved in the region probably in the early 1980s, okay? And that was region activities. Then we had restructured in 1980. We had been Pacific region, which was the whole West Coast and Japan for a number of years. And we then created divided up. So Camino Real came the region for, if you will, local Southern California, okay? And so that was the framework I was starting to work with in the early 1980s, was Camino Real rather than Pacific region. The Pacific region had 2-year terms, and we kept 2-year terms. And when we formed our unit, and it was, the terms went 80 to 82, 82 to 84, 84 to 86, 86 to 88, and I went in at 88 to 90.
That was marvelous. Can you give me another memorable thing that you remember as since you have been a member of Soroptimist? A memorable incident.
A memorable incident involving the Elway Club or something else. Okay, one of the things that I wish we could get going again, well, there's a couple of them. One would be working with the high school students on what I did at the Goodwill, because it was fascinating. And some of the students were from more exclusive high schools, and then we had some that we would say were from the poorer class. And some of them would come in, and someone would talk about, hey, the police coming in and do searches, and the other clubs are reacting because they lived a different life. And it was interesting to see the exposure of all these students collaborating together and learning through a day of working together to respect each other. There you are. That was something that LA did, and I think it led to this, what I was talking to about the competition with the essays, that type of thing.
If you had another recommendation of something that Soroptimist used to do that you don't do anymore, is there any specific thing that you would think maybe we need to be looking at doing again?
Golly, let's see. I think the thing that's important is sharing what is going on with your club and your concerns with activities someplace else, and your successes and your failures. It was a salute to Layla for all the years she gave Soroptimist, both personally and as a registered parliamentarian. She was marvelous, and I hope there's people in this room tonight that will remember her.